All right, well, here we are on the map, Antiga Shipyard, and in the lower left part of the map, in the red, representing the team FXO as their champion, but potentially getting knocked onto the lower bracket in the very first round. It is FXO GuMiho. Was he the wrong champion to choose? I think a lot of people would say the right one, but not so far today.
So too.
And here is the guy who might pull an upset in this, in the blue from the team Quantic Gaming. It is Apocalypse.
Now, this is kind of a weird scenario because there's obviously a lot of Terrans in this tournament. People have decided that they wanted to field Terrans. And we had some notable exceptions. We had Hero and Squirtle as well, Life from Zinx. So, you know, there's a good number of non-Terran players, but these are two teams where they could very well have fielded other opponents or other players. FXO in particular, they had Leenock and Oz at their disposal. Quantic, of course, is a very Protoss-heavy team, especially with Naniwan, Sase sitting there, Og also. But Apocalypse, so far, showing that he was the right choice, and he is up to the task.
Yeah, man. Quantic.Apocalypse, king of the dinosaurs, right here. Looks like he's going to go for a barracks at the normal timing. Big shock there. Gas first for GuMiho. Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of a mix in different build order styles initially in this game already. And there's the gas at the normal timing for Apocalypse. 12 barracks, 13 gas from him, and 13 gas. No, yeah, 12 gas, 13 barracks.
Yes,
for GuMiho.
That is right, and it's going to allow him the flexibility to have a factory down as soon as that barracks is finished up. He'll have that 100 gas here momentarily. Apocalypse, on the other hand, though, we'll see how aggressive he wants to get with his own teching. Decided not to do any sort of a one-racks gasless FE. We saw that out of both players on Daybreak on Antiga Shipyard. Still not that bad to try and pull it off. Relatively long walk distances because of the way the naturals are configured to be exactly cross-map. But, you know, we'll see what he goes with in a bit. It is actually going to be a tech lab, so maybe some sort of a Reaper opening for him. Yeah,
could be a Reaper expand. Could be a setup as well for Banshees a little bit later on. We have seen him open up Banshees every game, and a second gas right away, too. Interesting. All right. Now, GuMiho on the other side has got his factory on the way, but no second gas yet for him. So potentially no sort of fast-cloaked Banshees or anything like that. It could just be a Banshee expand. He could also choose just to play it really, really safe and just do a siege tank expand as well out of this. But we'll see. Banshees have just become so popular in this matchup again that you almost expect to see it from at least one player, if not both of them, nearly every time now.
Yeah, and it looks like Apocalypse trying to dart away with that SCV, but it's taking quite a bit of damage. He'll need to back out of there, and it looks like the Marine will be able to catch it. Bye-bye. Yep. Okay, now back on Apocalypse's side of things, he's producing his second Reaper. He already has his factory on the way now, so he is teching aggressively, but spending a lot of gas to get those Reapers out still.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, though, is if you make two Reapers like this, you have pretty much exactly enough for your factory as soon as, or for your starport as soon as the factory finishes. In fact, I think he might be able to squeeze out a third Reaper potentially here.
Yeah.
We'll see if he does. He may just decide to make that starport right on the barracks as well if he is deciding to go for Banshees. But right now, just doing some scouting. Third Reaper, yeah, okay. And a starport right away with that. So this could be that Reaper Hellion with a medevac build that we do see sometime.
And Reapers and Hellions, of course, have a bonus to doing light damage. They're both very, very strong.
That's so smart.
Yeah, nice decision. Then drops on the low ground, gets into the natural, and has bypassed the Hellion for the time being, but now there's a second Hellion out. Aw, and the Reaper's going to die anyway. Oh, but he gets a Hellion before he goes down. Very nice.
Both take each other. Reaper speed on the way for Apocalypse. Ah, it's this build. All right. So this is a build that Slayer's Boxer actually originally showed us. I'm sure there were other people that were doing it as well, but he's the first person that kind of used it in competitive play.
And a second starport.
Well, that's a little bit different. Okay, and he's making a Viking too. Okay, so this is a little bit different. Now, normally what we have been seeing is Reaper speed, Hellions, and medevacs with this. You know, you elevator things up, you just have a lot of damage against light units. But he's going to be getting that Viking as well to just kind of hold off any Banshees. So, safe decision by Apocalypse there. But still, this is going to be a build that GuMiho may have a bit of trouble with, because he's just going to have, you know, some Marines and Hellions early on with this.
All right, well, Reaper Speed's just about to finish. First Vikings are flying their way across the map. We do have an engineering bay coming up as well.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and take a look now at what Apocalypse is going to do. Of course, the Vikings are going to be sufficient anti-air against the Banshees. Yep, sorry.
Did Reaper Speed actually finish? Did he actually let that finish?
Yes, he did.
He did,
Look at his movement
Are you sure?
speed. There it is, movement speed, 3.84.
He did.
Yep.
Wow. All right, so Reapers with speed. And no medevac yet on the way for Quantic.Apocalypse or anything like that. Just now moving those Reapers up.
And a Raven coming out for him as well, with
probably
that
going to go into mech out of this. But this is not quite the same as what we've seen. It still could potentially do some damage, but it won't be quite as strong.
Right. I mean, they just want to kill his opponent now. But will he have the units to do it? It looks like he stopped, let's see here, stopped construction of that missile turret for just a second. I apologize. Banshee try and get in. No, looks like it's still sitting over there for GuMiho right now. It's not moved up yet.
Scan for GuMiho, and he should be a little bit confused by this. He's like, all right, you've got 2 starports, you've got Vikings.
He saw the Raven, too.
Yeah, all right, so GuMiho sees basically everything there, and there is Cloak coming out for Apocalypse. So he's going to go, I think, potentially just, well, I don't know. I mean, he's putting down the command center now, so I was like, is he maybe just going to go, yeah, Air Terran with this? He's got that force just kind of sitting in the middle of the map, not really doing anything with it. I thought maybe he was going to just add on a lot of Vikings and then push with maybe auto turrets.
Yeah.
And use that for vision on the high ground, really kind of does stuff, but it doesn't look like that's what he's doing either. He's making Banshees now. I think he's just going to come into the natural and try to do some damage here.
What a crazy creative TVT this has already been. Let's see if he tears after the Hellions. In fact, he is. One of the Reapers has already gone down, so the Reaper speed not really being utilized all that well, but he will. No, it looks like he's just going to try and take out a couple of SCVs before he dies. And, GuMiho, stop clicking your own orbital command there. That's no good.
If I was GuMiho, I'd be thrown off a little bit about this too. What was workers killed there? Yeah,
5.
Not a whole lot. So, kind of a weird opening from Apocalypse. It doesn't quite work out. Reaper speed ended up kind of being a bit of a waste there.
Double port Banshee now.
2-port Banshee, yeah, with Cloak. And he's got a couple Vikings, and he's got the point defense drone. So he wants to just have those Banshees go more or less unopposed, it looks like. GuMiho is double producing Vikings himself, though, behind all this.
He's got a reactor down there, so he's got a strong air component. The automatons are gathering because they want to witness the spectacle of what QXG.Apocalypse is actually doing.
Yeah, all right. First Banshee on the way now for Apocalypse. Just moving it in by itself here. And I got to think this is going to be some sort of transition into mech at some point, but he may just be going for just a lot of Banshees here and not much else, but doing some damage at the natural base of GuMiho for sure.
Yeah, takes out 4 workers there. And
not even cloaking.
Well, maybe intentional. Maybe he wants to hide it, so he's going to run in with a couple more Banshees into the main.
I don't think you'd ever want to intentionally let your Banshee die. That would be a little bit crazy here.
Oh, but now GuMiho's
the main.
He's moving out with his Vikings. Now has to turn around, but a few more kills are going to get done here. And Apocalypse is just powering ahead with his Banshees. 2 more just about to pop up as well. And he has actually done some pretty significant economic damage. Wow, he's almost caught up in workers.
GuMiho doesn't have a scan right now, apparently. There it is. Okay, yeah. Damage at the natural again. This is just straight up Cloak Banshee here. It's a lot for GuMiho to have to deal with.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the scans to deal with it either.
No. Let's see. 24 energy on that one. 11 energy on that one, and no missile turret in sight.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. This is going to do so much damage.
Yes, it looks like it will.
All right. Let's see here. He's just delaying as long as he can. There's a Thor out as well. 2 more Banshees are starting to fly in now, and he's preventing the construction of the missile turret as long as possible. All right, well, takes out 1 of the Banshees there, but unfortunately doesn't have any energy for an... Okay, he's getting very close to 48, 49, and 50. There's going to be a scan.
Yep, Banshee does get away, though.
Yes.
Well, the energy is still running lower, so Quantic.Apocalypse will have to still be careful about where he puts that Banshee, but...
Yes.
Did manage to get it out of there before the turret finished, at least. And another one coming into the natural. And a lot of SCVs coming out. GuMiho may just be going for this Viking Thor from GuMiho, and a single Thor just being mass repaired here.
Yeah. Okay, so it's going to take some damage.
What in the world is this?
Banshees are coming back now for Apocalypse. I just don't think GuMiho knows how to deal with this. This is so weird.
This has got to be one of the strangest TVT series I've seen in a long time, man. This just is beyond bizarre. GuMiho pushing like we saw with not a whole lot, and these Banshees still doing damage behind it. Apocalypse doesn't have Siege Mo yet, it looks like, with those tanks. He does have a landed Viking and some other stuff there as well. GuMiho lands his Vikings because, you know, why not? Some auto turrets go down to defend, and GuMiho, is he going to go for it?
Those auto turrets are so hardy, though, and there's 4 of them sitting on the high ground. He uses the Raven to buffer a little bit of damage and kill most of the SCVs. There's not that many SCVs repairing up this Thor, and he's actually dealing with the landed Vikings pretty efficiently. Now trying to get those units back into range of the auto turret, but thankfully the Thor can sit just outside of that range.
Yep, he can outrange it. Oh, but the Vikings are taking some damage here. SCVs coming off the line for Apocalypse to try to defend. The Thor still alive, but getting lower.
Oh, he's gonna get it. The Thor goes down. It's just a couple of SCVs left now in GuMiho. What have you got? He's got 6 less workers than his opponent. He's got 1 Thor out somewhere. It's probably sitting back inside of his base, but God, this is so weird.
Yeah, and Apocalypse transitioning into Bio out of this as well. This is just the weirdest TVT. I'm going to have to definitely go back and study these replays a little bit more.
Yeah.
All right, so Apocalypse, yeah, he's still got a decent amount of stuff here. He's killing the Thor with landed Vikings. What kind of weird world have we gone into, guys? Pajamas?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to live on this planet anymore.
I do. This planet looks awesome.
It
man.
actually
Look
does.
At that. Like a bunch of walking robot things shooting at each other.
I guess.
This is my kind of planet.
All right. Well, that Thor is going to die.
Yeah,
is he going to even get back home?
Nope.
4 hit points and dead. Landed Vikings have done their job.
Wow. All right. Well. Well, there you have it. So,
what?
You know, I've got a feeling these guys kind of deviating from their initial plans. I mean, that kind of goes without saying here. Trying to respond to each other and things like that. This is kind of, this reminds me of a lot of TVTs at the very end of last year, and to a certain extent the start of this one, where it just ended up being a lot of random units attacking each other early in the game.
Yeah. But this entire series has been so bizarre. Nothing has been straight up standard TVT.
No,
the closest we got was Game 2 on Daybreak, but even that was unconventional. And Apocalypse is actually going Bio out of this.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, he was already making some Marines and Marauders earlier, and GuMiho going mech, so we have a little bit of role reversal here.
All right, well, GuMiho's got some landed Vikings of his own, but I think he's going to be pretty unhappy to see this in a second.
Yeah, it's going to be able to break this bunker fairly easily. It looks like, oh, but a Thor on the high ground, definitely something to worry about.
Yeah, but the Vikings are providing vision. The Thor is already down. The siege tank is going to fall as well. GG! Quantic.Apocalypse has 3-0'd GuMiho in some of the most ridiculous TVTs I've ever seen.